So you need this video because you don't want to play the English ever again. I gotcha. And this is not clickbait. This is actually a way that you can use to pretty much never have to play English ever again. First, I'm going to show you something with Stockfish, and then more importantly, we're going to go to the Leeches database. And both of those indicate that you really don't need to worry about English ever again. This is a pretty awesome find. So let's first start with the Stockfish, and since we're playing black, let's flip the board. So English opening C4, and here what you're gonna play E6, and already here White has one major move, which is Knight C3, and both Stockfish and the database are suggesting that this is a very common move, Knight C3. And after Knight C3, you're gonna go D5, and already look at this. Only move that really keeps White's opening advantage will be D4. And as we know, if they play D4, now you're just playing Queen's Gambit declined, and this is something that most of the people would really love to play instead of the English. And other moves that there are, first of all, if White wants to have even some advantage from the opening, they have to play either D4 or C takes D5. And if C takes D5, we're going to take back. And again, look at that. D4, top engine move. And if they don't want to play D4, they have to play Knight F3. And otherwise, it's black who has the advantage. All the other moves, E6, some English players like to play G3. And here, minus 0.9. Because we can push the pawn, obviously. But the main point is that, okay, let's say they don't want to play d4, they want to play knight f3. All right, now we want to play the English. Oh no, we want to play the Queen's Gambit declined. So let's play knight f6, and look at that. d4 only move that keeps equal. Every other move is going to be in the favor of black. And now, are we going to be happy and like, yeah, it's a one game if it's minus 0.2? No, of course not. That's normal. Usually White is the one who has that sort of advantage in the beginning of every single game. But look at it like this. If they don't play this line that we're kind of hoping for, then any other move, and you know that you have at least 0.2 advantage there. And that is like playing White. And like no one is going into a game, gets White, and is like, yes, that's a free win. Obviously, it's not a free win. But at least I am very happy to play as White. And every time I go into a game and I get White, I sort of enjoy the position more because I feel like I have better winning chances. And that is actually true. If you look at the database, White ends up winning most of the games. It's not a big difference, but there is some difference. So you know that either you're going to get d4, which is Queen's Gambit transposition, or you know that you're going to play a game where you actually have the advantage. And here, the Queen a4 is one move. No, it was not. It's Queen c2. Queen a4 was another line. And the other move is e3. And I don't think many people are going to play these. Maybe e3 to get the light square bishop out. But all the other moves are starting to be significant advantage for black. And that is amazing. That is something we really enjoy and we want to have. And now let's look at the database, because this is what the engine says. But of course, at least hopefully, most of the players are not going to be playing with engine. So let's see how the database is here. And here I have chosen all the ratings above 1600. And that is because I feel like below 1600 level, it's pretty much going to be random moves after the first couple of moves. So it is more informative to have from 1600 to 2500. So let's see, database. So here the most common move, knight c3. And here most people play the d5. This is what we also would like to play. And after d5, almost everyone plays c takes d5. d4, the second most common move, and see about this. C takes d5, we take back, and here d4, 66%. That is quite a lot of games. And then, okay, the g3 is the second biggest. So, and if they play g3, look at that. We already know that's almost one advantage, and that is already considerable advantage. And that is something I would be very happy to play with. You just need to know to push the pawn, and they're gonna have to do something with the knight, and you pretty much neither player has developed anything, but you have this pawn that is harassing white's position, and you have the space advantage, and you're just going to develop normally castle, play the game, and you're gonna win more games. And apart from g3, it's pretty much d4, and everything else is quite rare. And after d4, you know this. Either you play Queen's Gambit or not, but you know this is a Queen's Gambit transposition. You just play knight to f6, and look at that. We can also see it from the white's perspective. Everyone notices this position, and I can show you what we're trying to go for here is d4, d5, c4, white plays, black plays e6, knight c3, and now here. And now we take, and this is now very common Queen's Gambit position that you should be getting most of the games when your opponent is starting with the move c4. And if you're happy to play with this, then this opening is something that you really should play with, because this is what you get at worst. And if your opponent finds a way to not go into this, you just know that your the engine actually favors you, and then you are not going to win the game automatically, but you are going to play with that confidence, and that confidence I feel like is a huge advantage. So that is something you should really try and implement into your games, especially if you're a Queen's Gambit declined player as black. So that was pretty much the video. Thank you for watching, and see you guys in the next video.